Hi, welcome. I'm Sophie. Welcome to my living room. I'm not recording in the studio SE6 today. I've been really busy getting the studio back together to reopen with all the COVID-19 protocols. So it's been lovely to welcome quite a few of the members back, and obviously we're still online as well. So there's been a lot going on. So I'm not recording in the studio today, and I haven't posted for 2 weeks. This video has been sitting here for the last 2 weeks and I've been meaning to post it, so I'm very sorry. I'm hopefully back on top of things now that the studio is reopened. Fingers crossed it stays that way. So back to the present. Today I have for you a 30-minute side opening practice. So we're going to focus on opening up in the side ribs and lengthening through the waist. So you'll need a yoga block. It's not essential, but definitely recommend that you have it handy at the top of your mat, just in case that you need it to make any postures more comfortable and accessible for you. Other than that, just a yoga mat, and I think we're good to go. So when you're ready, I'll see you on the mat. So we're going to start today in child's pose, taking your thighs just wider than your hips so you can easily fold forwards and allow the belly and the chest space. Big toes stay connected at the back, and you can always stack the hips with blocks or blankets, folded towels, etc., just to elevate them slightly if that's more comfortable. Choosing the arm position as you fold forward, so either extended child's pose, lifting wrists to armpits, and then bowing the head so that the ears are in line with the arms. You can stack your fists one on top of the other, lay the forehead on the fists, or even just rest the forearms down and bring the forehead down to the mat or to a block. So choosing whatever is most comfortable for you. We're going to stay here just for a moment just to settle into our space onto the mat. Take a gentle rounding in the lower spine, tailbone towards the heels, and a lifting in the chest. So we're trying not to collapse the shoulders around the spine, but broaden across the upper back instead by wrapping the shoulders around the body. Turning your attention to your breath. And as you breathe in, guide your breath down to your belly. And feel your belly softly and naturally expand through the thighs as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, allow the belly to completely relax. Navel draws towards the spine. Inhaling to expand, create space for the lungs to fill with air. And exhaling, softening and releasing. And with the exhale, just releasing any physical tension. Visualizing any tension melting into the mat. And let go of any thoughts that come to the front of the mind. Allowing yourself this little time to stay fully in the present. And we can do this by staying connected with each inhale and each exhale. And with your next out breath, take a big sigh out through the mouth. Slowly begin to walk the hands in and then bring in the knees so that they're in line with the hips. So for this next part, if you're sitting elevated on blankets or blocks, then they can stay there. Taking the arms out in front. Take an inhale. With the exhale, start to pull the fingertips in. Roll through the spine and lift the hips. Hips stack over the knees, shoulders stack over the hips. Inhale, reach up, gaze at the thumbs. And then exhale, interlace the fingers and press the palms up. Inhale, lean to one side. And exhale, come back to center. Inhale, lean to the other side, keeping the chest open. And exhale, back to center. Inhale, cactus arms, pull the arms back, lift the heart towards the ceiling, look forwards or slightly up. And exhale, bring the hands by the ears and circle on around. Coming back into that child's pose. From here, step your right foot forwards to your right thumb. And let's take a circle with the right arm as we rotate the rib cage open to the right. Inhaling, walk the hands back. and come onto the front heel. Really lengthen out through the crown of the head as we come into half split. Draw the shoulders back, knee and hip in line at the back. Inhale, press forwards onto the right foot and lift up, arms by the ears or heart center into crescent lunge. Squeezing that left glute slightly, opening up the front of the left hip. Swoop the arms all the way round and step the feet parallel to the front of the mat. Inhale, rising up into mountain pose, palms together, gaze to the thumbs. Exhale, dive forwards and hold onto the shins, tabletop position. Inhale, lengthen out through the crown of the head and bring fingertips to blocks or fingertips to floor underneath the shoulders. Bend the right knee and we're going to rotate towards the left. Left leg stays straight as we open up the rib cage to the left. Hand can come open on the sacrum. Just rolling the shoulders back, choosing to gaze to the floor, directly to the left or up towards the left hand. Swoop the arm all the way back as you come into chair pose. Sit the weight back of your toes. And then with an exhale, fold forwards, bringing the crown of the head towards the mat, soft knees. Inhale, step back, plank position. And then exhale, downward facing dog with bent knees to begin with, just while we're warming up. Finding that inverted V shape. Ears and the arms are in line, navel draws to spine, gaze towards the big toes. Heels are working their way down to the mat without rounding through the spine. If you have very tight hamstrings, bend the knees and find length in the spine first. Inhale, come into the knees. And exhale, sit back to tuck toes, into child's pose. One inhale here, and with the exhale, draw the fingertips in and rise up to that high knee position. Inhale, gaze at the thumbs, and then exhale, reach up through the palms. Inhale, lean to one side, and exhale, come back to center. Inhale to the other side, and exhale to center. Inhale, cactus arms, lift the chest. Make sure that you're not falling backwards. So pressing the hips slightly forward, squeezing the glutes a little. On an exhale, rise up with the arms, circle them around, slide the hands forwards, back into that child's pose. Inhale, take your left foot forwards to the left thumb, and exhale, rotate to the left. Big circle with the left arm. Inhale, come back to center and walk back into half split. Stay here. Again, knee and hip in line at the back. And we're rolling onto the front heel. With your next inhale, rock forwards to the left foot and lift up into crescent lunge, arms by the ears or hands to heart center. Squeezing that right glute slightly here and opening up across the front of the right hip. Circle the arms around and step to the front, feet parallel. Inhale, rise up, mountain pose. Exhale, halfway fold. Inhale, lengthen out the spine. Take the fingertips underneath the shoulders and bend the left knee. Exhale, rotate to the right. So same thing, but this time the right leg is straight. Shoulders slide back and down and choose your preferred gazing position. Circle the arm all the way round. Sit back into chair, inhale. And exhale, push the hips back as you fold forwards over the thighs. Crown of the head hangs towards the mat. Step one leg back, then the other into plank. One inhale and one exhale, downward facing dog. So we're going to do that one more time each side, and we're going to move a little faster. Inhale to the knees, exhale to the heels. Inhale here, and then exhale, draw the fingertips in, press the hips forwards as you stack knees, hips and shoulders. Inhale, gaze to the thumbs, and then exhale, look forwards and press the palms up to the ceiling. Inhale, lean to one side, and exhale back to center. Inhale to the other side, and exhale to center. Inhale, cactus arm, lift the heart, Exhale, arms by the ears, circle around, slide the hands forwards, child's pose. Left leg again steps forwards, inhale. Exhale, rotate to the left. Inhale, half split, walk the hands back, lift the chest, roll onto the front heel. And exhale, walk forwards, flat left foot, come up to crescent lunge. Inhale. Exhale, circle the arms and step the feet parallel to the front. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, half fold. Inhale, lengthen out, place fingertips to the floor. Bend the right knee, keep the left leg straight, and exhale, rotate the rib cage to the left. Circle the arm around, coming up into chair pose. Inhale. And exhale, dive forwards and step back to plank position. Take it back to downward facing dog on an exhale. Inhale, come to the knees. And exhale, sit to tuck toes. One inhale here. One exhale, drag the fingertips in. Last time on the right, coming up to high knees. Interlace the fingers, press up above the head. Lean to one side, inhale. Exhale to center. Inhale to the other side, chest is open, shoulders back. Exhale to center. Inhale, really lift, pull the shoulder blades down the back, lift and spread the collarbones. Exhale, arms above the head, and then circle all the way round into child's pose. Inhale, right foot steps to thumb, and exhale, rotate right. Inhale, half split, walk back, lift the chest. And exhale, walk forwards into crescent lunge. Inhale, circle around, step to the front, exhale. Inhale, lift mountain pose. Exhale, dive forwards, hands to shins. Inhale, lengthen out fingertips to blocks or the floor. And on an exhale, bend the left knee, keep the right leg straight, and come up into a twist. Circle the arm all the way around, inhaling, coming up into chair. Sit way back with your toes, keep the chest lifting. And exhale, push the hips back and fold torso over thighs and let the head go, nod yes and no. And then from here, take your right leg back behind you. Make sure you're hip distance apart, and let's come up into warrior two. So spin on that back foot, turn in slightly, keeping your hips and your shoulders stacked. Take the arms away, reach out through the fingertips. Bend the front knee over the ankle and press down through the mound of the big toe and the little toe on that front foot. Back hand slides down the back thigh, front palm turns over. Keep the legs as they are. Inhale, reach up towards the ceiling, reverse warrior two. Exhale, stay there or lean back a little more. You can look towards the front or towards the ceiling without snapping the head back. Keep that position with the upper body and just lengthen away that front leg. So just lengthen the front leg. Keep lifting up and out to the hips. Now bend, knee back over the ankle and back into warrior two. We'll do that one more time. Back hand down back thigh, front palm over. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, lean back. Inhale, straight front leg. And then this time with your exhale, palms turn to the right as you hinge down, holding onto your shin or hand on the inside of that left leg, coming into Trikonasana triangle pose. So hand can come to block, hand can come to floor, but lifting away from the floor rather than just dumping down into it. So really think about length in the waist. And then let's come all the way back up to warrior two. Bend that front leg, push away from the floor and lift the upper body back. Hands come to the hips and lift the left toes off the mat. Turn the left foot to the front. So pigeon toe yourself inwards slightly, lifting the chest. Take the arms up, inhale. Exhale, take the arms behind you. Interlace the fingers here, roll the shoulders back and down, or just hold on to your forearms. Inhale, lift the chest. Draw navel in. As you exhale, come to a tabletop position. So try not to sag the belly here and tip the tailbone up. Think about a level pelvis and even weight between the balls of the feet and the heels. We just don't rock back into the heels. Let's bring the hands down to the floor, staying in this tabletop position. And then we'll walk the hands over on the diagonal towards the right foot. So the hips stay in the center, the chest is lifting, and we're creating a long spine. Stay here or carry on walking around to that right foot. Take your right hand to the back of the calf or ankle, and the front hand just rests on the front. And the left hand just rests on the front of the foot, and you can fold over the right thigh. So think about rotating navel towards the thigh and nose towards the shin. Hips are in the center. Both legs are as straight as you can. You can always stay halfway and hold on to your shins, or stay fingertips or hands on blocks. So choosing what works for you, and with time and practice, maybe you can move on to the next stage. And then let's come back up to a tabletop position, walk it back round to the center. Bring your heels in just a little and turn your toes out so they face the wide corners of your mat. Bend your knees, drop your hips, gather your arms up into prayer position with the hands to heart center. Roll inner to outer thighs. Press your knees back and press through the mounds of the big toes and the little toes. Keep lifting the chest. Let's take the arms up and into a Y shape. One inhale here, lower the left forearm down to the thigh, and as you exhale, let's go over the ear. So again, just lifting away from the floor, keeping the hips low. Inhale, back to center, palms to heart center as you straighten up. And exhale, arms to the side, hands back to heart center. Sink the hips a bit lower, lift the arms up in a Y shape. So let's go with the other side, forearm down, just make sure the knees aren't starting to buckle in, really open them up, and take an arm over the ear. Keep the chest open towards the ceiling, we try not to collapse here, stay open and lifted. And come back to center, keep the knees bent, turn the feet to face the front, fold forwards. Let's walk it back round now to the front, back to that left foot, into a high lunge position. Step your feet parallel to the front of the mat, sit back and come into chair. Look towards those knees, make sure they're not buckling in, you're not rolling out to the sides of your feet. Just sinking low in the hips, spreading the weight even through the balls of the feet, center of each heel. And then let's bring the hands to the floor. I'm going to quickly flip sides so I don't have my back to you. Stay where you are. And we'll take our left leg back behind us into a high lunge position. Let's swoop up to warrior two. So left arm by the ear, press away from that right foot and drop that back hip down. Bring the front knee over the ankle. Lining up either heel to heel or heel to arch, and back foot slightly rotated in. Arms are horizontal, coming out of the shoulders and reaching through the fingertips. Lift up through the crown of the head and relax the shoulders. Take the back hand down the back thigh, turn the front palm over. Reverse warrior two. Inhale, lift. Exhale, stay there or reach a little way back. Keep lengthening up from the navel to the sternum. Keep this position. Straighten the front leg. Reach back. Bend the front knee over the ankle and come back to warrior two. Let's do that again. Take the back hand down, front palm over. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, lean back. Keeping length in the left side of the waist. Hug the navel in, protect the lower back. And then straighten that front leg. Stay with a straight front leg as we bring ourselves forwards and into triangle pose. So again, holding onto bottom shin. Top hand can always come to hip or palm to sacrum. Choosing your gazing point, whether that's fingers, floor, or directly to your left. Hand can come to a block or fingertips floating from the mat. Opening up the chest, rolling the top shoulder back and down. Bending the front knee and lift torso back into warrior two position. Hands to the hips and lift onto the right heel. Turn the feet towards the front or towards the left. Pigeon toe yourself in slightly. Inhale, lift the arms up, gaze at the thumbs, palms together. Finding length as you exhale, fold forwards, interlace the fingers behind you or hold forearms. Roll the shoulders open, inhale. Exhale, let's hinge forward. You can maybe bend the knees slightly here, just to find that length in the spine, or work with straight legs and stay in a tabletop position, hands to shins or hands to blocks or floor. If you're interlaced with the arms, then you're coming up and overhead. Lift the shoulders up and away from the ears. The neck has length and space. Try not to rock back into your heels, but find an even spread between the balls and the heels of each foot. Inhale, lever yourself back up with your arms halfway and bring the hands, fingertips to the floor. Now we're walking it around just before the left foot, lengthening out through the chest, through the crown of the head. Again, hips are going to stay where they are, so temptation is to come with, hips come with the arms, but really try to keep the hips in the centre. Breathing into the space between each rib on the right hand side. And then maybe you can walk around and take hold of left calf with the left hand, and then right hand just rests on top of the foot. And we can draw nose towards the shin, navel towards the thigh. Hips in the centre. Breath is steady and even. And lengthening back out halfway, tabletop position. Walk it back to the centre. Coming into that horse stance again, bringing the heels in slightly, feet point to the wide corners of your mat. Drop your hips as you walk back, gather up your arms, hands into heart centre. Take the arms in a V shape up above the head. So we'll do the same thing again, or we can add an extra challenge. So either we lean over towards the left, so forearm or hand rests on the thigh, and then arm comes over ear, pinning those thighs back. Or we lift heel on the right and heel on the left. Keep your hips low, either the same thing, which is challenging enough, or we take it completely unsupported and we banana over towards the left. Really pin those thighs back. It's so tempting to let them roll in. Keep the chest open, drop the hips a bit more. One more inhale, I'm shaking. And exhale, come back to center, place the heels down. Gather up the arms, inhale, lift up palms together, gaze at the thumbs. Exhale, circle around, sit back into that horse stance. Take the arms up in a Y shape, take the side lean hand or forearm, or we'll take right heel up, left heel up, unsupported banana over towards the right. Pin back those thighs. Sink a bit lower, one inhale, one exhale, come back to the center, place the heels down, turn the feet forwards and fold through the legs. Swivel back towards the top of your mat, towards your right foot, into a high lunge. Step back, downward facing dog. Easy breaths here. Maybe the heels are sinking a little deeper towards the mat, finding that the backs of the legs are feeling a little more open. And if not, it's absolutely fine. Bend the knees, find the length in the spine, and then work on straightening the legs. And we'll finish how we started. Slowly float to the knees, open up the thighs, big toes together. Stacking anything you need to underneath the hips if you want to elevate them. And bringing your hands or a block underneath the forehead. So stack fists, flat palms, or even hands back by your feet, palms upturned and forehead to the mat. So finding an option that's the most comfortable for you. Again, finding a slight rounding in the tailbone towards the heels. And if this position is too uncomfortable, then just finding one that suits you, just so you can take a moment to allow the body and the mind to absorb your practice today. Finding that easy, steady breath. Expanding the belly, expanding the ribs laterally to the sides of the room. Expanding the back ribs with each inhale. And as you exhale, the belly and the rib cage soften back into the center. And if you can, begin to deepen the exhale. And on your last breath out, take a long, deep sigh through the mouth. Bringing the hands underneath the shoulders and slowly begin to roll up. Working the knees in towards one another. Come to seated however you're comfortable. Take an inhale, reach the arms up. Hands to heart center, big sigh through the mouth. And thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the session. As usual, just please leave any comments in the boxes below, and I hope to see you back again soon.